After years of being the reliable one, I finally asked for help just 1 month's rent after losing my job. My family group chat went silent. Then my cousin texted me privately. They're saying you shouldn't have quit if you weren't ready to struggle. I never quit. My company laid me off. When I called my mom, she said, "You've always been a little too proud. Maybe this will humble you." I hung up and cried for hours. 2 weeks later, she asked if I could watch her dog for a week. I was always the one everyone leaned on. In Florence, South Carolina, family isn't just important, it's everything. You don't leave family hanging. At least, that's what I believed. I was the oldest of my siblings. The responsible one. While my brother Jason was getting into fights, my sister Amber was dropping out of community college, and my youngest brother, Ricky, was bouncing between jobs. I was the one who stayed steady. I graduated college, the first in the family, and got a solid job at a logistics company over in Columbia. At every family gathering, they like to brag to outsiders about me. "That's our college boy," Uncle Ray would say. "He's gonna make it big." They liked the idea of my success, they just didn't care much about the work it took or how lonely it was being the one who made it. Whenever someone needed something, they called me. Needed $300 for a car repair? I sent it. Needed help moving last minute? I drove 3 hours to lift boxes. Needed someone to talk to after a DUI arrest? I stayed up all night listening. I was the strong one, the reliable one, the ATM with a heartbeat. I never complained. I told myself that's what family does. But when I lost my job in February, everything changed. It wasn't my fault. The company had been struggling, but nobody thought they'd actually start cutting staff. I gave them 8 years of my life. I skipped vacations, worked weekends, handled the worst clients because I thought loyalty would protect me. Didn't. When they let me go, I sat in my car for almost an hour afterward, staring at my hands. I wasn't broke yet. I had some savings, but rent was due soon. Unemployment wouldn't kick in fast enough. It took everything I had to send that text to the family group chat. "Hey guys, just lost my job. Good for now, but need help with 1 month's rent. I'll pay it back." Sent it. Watch the little delivered symbol pop up. And then, nothing. Not a sorry. Not a "we'll see what we can do." Nothing. Hours turned into a day. Then, too, I saw the read receipts. They saw it. They just chose to ignore me. It felt like a punch in the gut. Then my cousin Taylor, the one who always borrowed gas money from me, sent me a private message. "Just so you know, they're saying you shouldn't have quit if you weren't ready to struggle." I stared at the screen in disbelief. Quit? I didn't quit. I lost my job. I had no choice. I texted him back, my fingers trembling, "Taylor, I didn't quit. I got laid off. I wasn't given a choice." He left me on read. No reply. No apology. I called my mom thinking surely she'll understand. She answered on the third ring. I could hear the TV blaring in the background. "Hey, Ma. I just wanted to explain I didn't quit. They laid me off. I'm just trying to figure things out." She sighed. That deep, tired sigh that always made me feel like I was somehow a burden just by existing. "You've always been a little too proud," she said. "Maybe this'll humble you." Humble me. I sat there, mouth open, trying to find words. But none came. I hung up without saying goodbye. That night, I cried harder than I had in years. I wasn't just hurting. I was humiliated. Abandoned by the same people I would have given my last dollar to. 2 weeks later, my mom texted like nothing had happened. "Can you watch Buster for a week? Going to Myrtle Beach." No apology. No acknowledgement of what happened. Just expecting me to say yes, like always. I stared at the message for a long time. I thought about every birthday I spent alone because I was working overtime to send Amber's kids Christmas gifts. Every weekend I drove out to fix Jason's car when he couldn't afford a mechanic. Every sacrifice I made, thinking it would come back around. It never did. That night I decided I was done. No fights. No long messages. No guilt trips. Just silence. I never answered her text. The next day she called. I let it ring. Then again. And again. The following day Jason called. Then Amber. Then Uncle Ray. All of them blowing up my phone, not to apologize, but because Mom was mad I wasn't watching her damn dog. The group chat, the same one that went silent when I needed help, was now full of angry messages. "Seriously? You're just gonna ignore us? Not cool, man. Mom needed you. You've changed." No, I hadn't changed. The longer I stayed silent, the louder they got. After 3 days of ignoring their calls and texts, Jason showed up at my apartment. I didn't answer the door. I watched him through the peephole. He stood there for almost 10 minutes, knocking harder and harder until finally he shouted through the door. "Man, you're a real piece of work. After everything Mom's done for you." "Everything she's done?" I almost laughed. "Everything I had done for them." He kicked the door once. Not hard enough to break it, but hard enough to make a point, and stormed off. Later that night, my phone buzzed with a new text from Amber. "We're family, but I guess you're too good for us now. Hope you enjoy being alone." The words stung more than I wanted to admit. Not because they were true. They weren't. But because deep down, I knew that being alone had been my reality for a long time. I just hadn't wanted to see it. For the next 2 weeks, the silence became mutual. They didn't reach out. I didn't reach out. It should have been peaceful. But then, out of nowhere, another storm hit. One afternoon, I got a call from my landlord. "Hey, just a heads up," he said. "Your brother came by. Said he was helping you move out." I felt my stomach drop. "What?" I said. "I'm not moving." "Yeah, I figured. I didn't let him in. But thought you should know. Jason was trying to pull something. Maybe trying to get into my place. Maybe trying to grab whatever he thought he was owed." The betrayal tasted bitter in my mouth. After everything, now they were trying to screw me over? That night, I drove to Mom's house. I hadn't been there since Christmas. I didn't text. I didn't call. I just showed up. When she answered the door, she looked surprised but not happy. "Figured you'd come crawling back eventually," she said. "That was it?" "No, are you okay?" "No, I'm sorry." Just that smug little jab. I stood there, looking at the woman who used to rock me to sleep when I was a kid, and felt nothing but coldness. "I'm not crawling back," I said quietly. "I'm here to tell you something." She crossed her arms. "Well, I'm done." Her face hardened. "Done with what?" "Done being the one you all lean on. Done cleaning up your messes. Done being the ATM. Done being the free babysitter. Done being the good son who gets nothing back." She opened her mouth like she was going to interrupt, but I didn't let her. "I needed you. One time. One goddamn time. And you let me drown. So figure your own shit out from now on. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't ask me for a damn thing." Her face turned red. "You ungrateful little..." I turned and walked away before she could finish. I didn't slam the door. I didn't yell. I just left. And for the first time in my life, I felt free. For a while, things were quiet. Too quiet. I thought maybe they'd finally gotten the message. But about a month later, things started stirring again. It started small, strange charges showing up on my credit card. A $40 gas station charge 2 towns over. Then a $200 shopping spree at a discount electronics store. I knew immediately who it was. Jason had borrowed my card before, during emergencies. He must have copied the numbers down without me realizing. I canceled the card, filed fraud reports, and froze my credit. But I was furious. Not just at Jason, at myself. For trusting them. Even after everything. A few days later, I ran into Taylor at the grocery store. He tried to pretend he didn't see me, but I walked right up to him. "You tell Jason," I said, keeping my voice low but firm, "if he doesn't pay back every dime he stole, I'm going to the cops." Taylor scoffed. "You wouldn't do that to family," he said. "Family?" I laughed cold and sharp. "I don't have a family anymore." I didn't wait for his reply. I turned and walked away. That night, Jason called me. Not to apologize. Not to offer the money back. To threaten me. "You bring cops into this and you'll wish you hadn't," he growled. I recorded the call. 2 days later, I filed a police report. When the officer asked if I wanted to press charges, I said yes without blinking. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about the principle. About making sure they finally faced consequences. About showing them that I wasn't the doormat they had wiped their feet on for years. Filing charges split the family clean down the middle. Half of them blew up my phone, calling me every name in the book. The other half stayed silent, probably because they were scared they might be next if they crossed me. Jason got arrested for credit card fraud. When they cuffed him, he cried like a baby. All that tough talk on the phone, gone in an instant. My mom called me the day after his arrest. Her voice was shaking with rage. "How could you do this to your own brother?" she hissed. I almost laughed. How could he steal from his own brother? I shot back. How could you all turn your backs when I needed you? She started crying, but it wasn't sadness. It was that manipulative kind of crying she used when she wanted something. Please, she begged. Drop the charges. We're family. I almost gave in. I almost let all the old guilt and loyalty pull me back in. But then I remembered that night I sat alone, crying because they abandoned me when I needed them most. I remembered staring at my phone, seeing their red receipts, and getting nothing but silence. So I said it as simply as I could, no, and I hung up. Jason took a plea deal. He didn't go to prison, but he got a felony on his record. No more easy jobs. No more getting his way. He tried to blame me for ruining his life. But he ruined his own life the moment he decided stealing from me was easier than helping me. My mom and I haven't spoken since. Neither have my siblings. The family gatherings went on without me. I see the pictures sometimes on Facebook. Everyone's smiling like nothing ever happened. But I don't care anymore. Because for the first time in my life, I put myself first. Cost me my family. Cost me a piece of my heart. But it gave me back my soul. I rebuilt my life from the ground up. Got a better job, one where they actually respect me. Made real friends who show up when it counts. Found peace in the silence. And if they ever wonder why I disappeared, they can look back at the night I needed them and remember the silence they gave me. Because that silence is the only thing I'm giving back now, forever.